Section 3.2 Evaluating algebraic expressions. In this video, we will see how to evaluate an algebraic expression for given values of the variable contained in the expression, an expression containing more than one variable, a fraction expression, an expression containing absolute value symbols, and the formula of a rectangular prism. Here are some simple tips to help you be successful. Tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. 1. Replace all occurrences of variables in the expression with open parentheses. Leave room between the parentheses to substitute the given value of the variable. 2. Substitute the given values of variables in the open parentheses prepared in the first step. 3. Evaluate the resulting expression according to the rules guiding order of operations. Let's begin with an example. Example 1. Evaluate the expression x squared minus 2xy plus y squared at x equals negative 3 and y equals 2. Solution. Following tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. First, replace all occurrences of variables in the expression with open parentheses. Secondly, replace each variable with its given value. And thirdly, follow the rules guiding order of operations to evaluate the resulting expression. So, when we substitute negative 3 for x and 2 for y, we get negative 3 squared minus 2 times negative 3 times 2 plus 2 squared. We'll evaluate the exponents first. Negative 3 squared would be negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. And 2 squared would be 2 times 2, which is 4. Left to right, multiply. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And again, left to right, multiply. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Then change the subtraction of negative 12 to adding the opposite. So 9 minus negative 12 becomes 9 plus 12. Then adding from left to right, 9 plus 12 plus 4 is 25. Example 2. Evaluate the expression a minus b squared at a equals 3 and b equals negative 5. Solution. Following tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. First, replace all occurrences of variables in the expression a minus b squared with open parentheses. Secondly, replace each variable with its given value. And thirdly, follow the rules guiding order of operations to evaluate the resulting expression. So, substituting 3 for a and negative 5 for b in the original expression, we get 3 minus a negative 5 squared. We'll add the opposite, so 3 minus negative 5 becomes 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 squared is 64. Example 3. Evaluate the expression absolute value of a minus the absolute value of b at a equals 5 and b equals negative 7. Solution. Following tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. First, replace all occurrences of variables in the expression absolute value of a minus absolute value of b with open parentheses. Secondly, replace each variable with its given value. And thirdly, follow the rules guiding order of operations. To evaluate the resulting expression, absolute value of a minus absolute value of b, substitute 5 for a and negative 7 for b. So we get absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of negative 7. If we take the absolute values first, which would be the grouping symbols first, the absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of negative 7 is 7. Remember, absolute values are positive. Then we have 5 minus 7 is the same as 5 plus negative 7. Then 5 plus negative 7 is negative 2. Example 4. Evaluate the expression absolute value of a minus b at a equals 5 and b equals negative 7. Solution. Following tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. First, replace all occurrences of variables in the expression the absolute value of a minus b with open parentheses. Secondly, replace each variable with its given value. And thirdly, follow the rules guiding order of operations to evaluate the resulting expression. So if we replace a with 5 and b with negative 7, we get the absolute value of 5 minus a negative 7. Then we'll add the opposite, so 5 minus a negative 7 becomes 5 plus 7, and 5 plus 7 is 12, and the absolute value of 12 is 12. Example 5. Evaluate the expression where a equals 5, b equals negative 3, c equals 2, and d equals negative 4. Solution. Following tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. First, replace all occurrences of variables in the expression with open parentheses. Secondly, replace each variable with its given value. And thirdly, follow the rules guiding order of operations to evaluate the resulting expression. Substitute 5 for a, negative 3 for b, 2 for c, and negative 4 for d. So we get 5 times negative 4 minus 3 times negative 3 times 2 divided by 5 plus a negative 3. Simplifying the numerator, we have 5 times a negative 4 is a negative 20, and negative 3 times 2 would be a negative 6. In the denominator, 5 plus negative 3 is a positive 2. In the numerator, we'll add the opposite. Negative 20 minus negative 6 becomes negative 20 plus 6. And in the numerator, negative 20 plus 6 equals negative 14. So now all that's left is negative 14 divided by 2, which is a negative 7. Example 6. Picture below is a rectangular prism. The volume of the rectangular prism is given by the formula V equals L times W times H, where L is the length, W is the width, and H is the height of the rectangular prism. Find the volume of a rectangular prism having length 12 feet, width 4 feet, and height 6 feet. Solution. Following tips for evaluating algebraic expressions. First, replace all occurrences of L, W, and H in the formula, V equals L times W times H, with open parentheses. Next, substitute 12 feet for L, 4 feet for W, and 6 feet for H, and simplify. So we get V, or volume, equals 12 feet times 4 feet times 6 feet, which is 288 feet cubed, since feet times feet times feet is feet cubed. Hence, the volume of the rectangular prism is 288 cubic feet.